how does your office handle the student population throughout their years here?
Well, we have a pretty large advising staff, and we like to look at our advisors being 300 students to one. That kind of makes it a little bit more manageable. So each of the students get that individual attention from the advisors throughout their time here. I really encourage them to have their advisor be their best friend. You can't have too many best friends, so why not have their advisor be their best friend? They can help them with classes, what their degree plan is, if they want to pick up a minor, what courses would be best for their directed electives. If they want to take another elective, that they have an interest in meteorology, what classes are out there. But we're there to support the academics.
Howdy, welcome to another episode of FutureBuilt. I'm Shelley Reber, and today I'm visiting with Shelley Holliday. She's the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the School of Architecture. Check out the School of Architecture and all our programs at arch.tamu.edu. And make sure to stick around until the end of the episode to learn how you can win an iPad. Shelley, thank you so much for visiting with us today.
Thank you, Chelsea, for having me here.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the School of Architecture.
Being an administrator or even being a professor was not, the plan all along. But when I got here and to do it, it was just what I was made to do. I started out with a Bachelor's of Science in Architecture from the University of Nebraska. And during that time, I always knew I wanted to be part of the built environment. But at that time, I realized that for me to contribute the most to the built environment, it was as a structural engineer. So I actually came down here to finish my degree and to get a master's in engineering, in structural engineering. And worked for a little bit for a high-profile firm in Chicago that actually is a very interdisciplinary firm. And then came back down here and started teaching. And so every day when I get to come down New Main Drive, I'm like, wow, I get to do this again today. And every single day it's just like that. I love what I do. I get to work with students, and it's amazing.
So tell me exactly what you do as an Associate Dean.
So as an Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, I like to say that I am the student's dean. I belong to them. So anything academic, their degree plan, them graduating, everything that has to do with the student, I am the student's dean. And I wear that badge very proudly, and something that I'm very excited to do.
So for new students coming into the school, how does your office support them?
So I am also in charge of our Office of Student Services, which houses all of our advisors. So when the students come in, first off, we get them at New Student Conference. They've been admitted, they come to New Student Conference, and the smiles on their faces to be excited. They are now Aggies. They come in, our advisors have done all the hard work beforehand, looked at all their academics, and they will get their schedule all ready for them. And so they come in, we welcome them, we let them know all about our school, what our policies, what our procedures, all the fun that we're going to do in the next year. They meet with their advisors set their whole schedule, what their degree plan looks like for the next 4 years, and then to let them know our goal at the end is graduation, right? And I like to think that we don't want it as much as they do, but we're a close second, right, to watch them walk across the stage. And one of the favorite days of our advisors is to be at Reed Arena, lining all the students up, high-fiving them and congratulating them as they walk out onto Reed Arena floor, and to see all their hard work on that graduation day.
From visiting with the department heads in the School of Architecture, I understand how large this school is. How does your office handle the student population throughout their years here?
Well, we have a pretty large advising staff, and we like to look at our advisors being 300 students to one. That kind of makes it a little bit more manageable. So each of the students get that individual attention from the advisors throughout their time here. I really encourage them to have their advisor be their best friend. You can't have too many best friends, so why not have their advisor be their best friend? They can help them with classes, what their degree plan is, if they want to pick up a minor, what courses would be best for their directed electives. If they want to take another elective, that they have an interest in meteorology, what classes are out there. But we're there to support the academics and for their degree plan. We encourage them to come and talk to our advisors at least once a semester to get ready for the next semester, signing up for classes. And in the end, to make sure that everything is in line for their graduation time.
What resources are available to students, and how can they best utilize them?
It's amazing. I think that I find a new resource almost weekly, and every time I talk to one of the advisors, there's something new that Texas A&M is doing for them. But Texas A&M has so much, and I really encourage all the students to see what's out there and to utilize it. The MSC at the beginning of the semester will hold a resource fair to let them know, so we encourage them to walk through there and to see that. But we have a math lab, we have a writing center, we have a career center. And one of the things that I don't want anybody to miss out on is the Academic Success Center, and they actually have academic coaching. So it's not just for people who think, oh, I'm having some trouble, but it's also like, I'd like to be able to study quicker. But we also have even finance wellness, right? So if you're having trouble figuring out how to pay rent and tuition, they can help you with that. So there are so many resources that are on campus that I really encourage. And I think a lot of them, the students go through not knowing they're there. And when they get done, they're like, oh, I wished I would have known that was there.
Well, and I think a lot of students think academic advisor, that's who I need to go see about my classes and my grades. But it sounds like your office does so much more than just that.
We are there to support the students and to find what they need. And we really want them to come see us early, right? That toolbox is completely full at the beginning of the semester, but as that semester goes on, some of those tools drop off. So come see us early, right, to see what's out there for them. In addition to all the sources that Texas A&M has, we have some amazing spaces for our students. All of our studio courses, the students have their own desk. It's their desk 24/7, although we don't encourage 24/7. But they have their own desk and their space that they have for the entire semester for their studio. And for our non-studio, construction science, they actually have their own building. And it's a teaching laboratory of a building, so everything is exposed. The elevator has a glass panel so you can see the cables even, and the mechanical system and the structure, all the cabling, it's all exposed so the students can learn. It's the built environment right there for them to see every single day.
Check out the School of Architecture and all our programs at arch.tamu.edu. So Shelley, I hear you dislike the word or and prefer and. Can you explain?
Absolutely. We have one of the most wonderful transformative experiences that our students get to do. Believe it or not, we actually get all the students here and then we tell them to pack their bags and leave for a semester. And so you can achieve that 3 different ways. You can either do an internship, you can study abroad, or you can study at another university. Most of our students either do an internship or, which is a terrible word, the study abroad program. And who wouldn't want to do both? So I really encourage the students to find that way to do both. Construction science actually has this incredible program where they go away in the beginning of the semester to the UK, and they get fully involved in all the culture and everything. And then the second half of the semester, they then get to do the internship, and they get to go do an internship with a UK company and be over there for the full semester. So it's kind of like when you go to a restaurant and they come out and say, it's dessert time. Do you want brownies or ice cream? We all know that or does not belong in that statement. It's the same thing. So we don't want our students to have brownies or ice cream. We want them to have brownies and ice cream. And so construction science, they get to do brownies and ice cream, study abroad and internship. And we really encourage our other students to do that as well. So they can study abroad during the long semester. When else you might not ever get the chance to live in another country for 3 months. And then in the summer, what should they do? Internship, right? Brownies and ice cream. Yeah, the word and. We want our students to be able to do it all.
Tell me a little bit more about the School of Architecture students. What attributes stick out to you the most?
So our students really have that drive and that passion to curate a better world, and by building this better world. I think what's so interesting about them is they still have their curiosity, and every single day you can see that curiosity. They're creative, they communicate both with words and visually, which really sells their ideas and what they're thinking, what's all up here, right? They can say it and they can draw it and communicate it to everybody. But our students, the curiosity is what really is what I'm so impressed with. They have not lost that curiosity, and they bring it to the classroom every single day.
You must engage with a lot of students, probably on a daily basis. What is one common piece of advice that you like to give to those students?
Well, we have so many unique students. None of them are exactly the same. So I try not to tell them all the same thing. But the spirit of the message is always the same. But I try to look at each of our students as individuals and kind of tell it to them the way they need to hear it. And the big thing, though, is really just for them to be be engaged in their education, right? To kind of take it slow, sit back and enjoy it, to be a part of it, to really engage in it. And I encourage them to kind of find their person or their mentor. And so when they get 5 job offers at the end, they say, knowing me, which one do you think I should take, right? I really encourage them to find their person.
Shelley, tell me a little bit more about the culture of the School of Architecture and what it's like to come to work here every day and what it's like to interact with these students every day.
So culture is something that's very important to us in the School of Architecture. We even have culture statements on our syllabi so the students know. And we want a culture of respect and camaraderie and curiosity and creativity. And so that's very important to us. We really love to interact with each other. We have charrettes that go on, and that's with students and faculty and administrators. We have career fair where we all come together and get excited about all the options that we have.
So you came here for school, you stuck around. What is your favorite thing about working here?
The students, absolutely the students. They're the reason we are here. But then students come, faculty, and it comes staff. And I mean, it's all just amazing how we come together. But I get so excited when I get to see students. And I do tell them that sometimes my office can be thought of as the principal's office, but that it doesn't have to be. When they get that job, I want them to come in and I can do woohoo for them and everything like that. So I want to celebrate with them and everything and help them when times are rough, but also celebrate when times are great.
Well, Shelley, thank you so much for joining us today on FutureBuilt.
Thank you, Chelsea.
You can follow the school on social media at TAMU Arch School.